Jayo Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe. Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमः श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय मानसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः. दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनक आत्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्. Yeah, Hare Krishna. So we have beautiful Ram Darbar here, their lordship. So as we said, Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya, Dakshina is in right hand side. Whose right hand side is Lakshman? Vame cha Janak Atmaja. Vame is in left hand side. On the left hand side is daughter of Maharaj Janak, Janak Atmaja. Purato Marutiri Yasya. Puruto as in on the front is Maruti. Hanuman is there. Vande tam Raghunandanam. To that Lord Ram, who is the Nandan, who provides Anand, like we have our Vrijanandan, our Sham Sundar, Yashoda Nandan. So similarly, Raghunandan. To that Raghunandan, I pay my obeisances. Happy Ramnavami. So today's verse is, we will discuss from 5th canto. Yes, Prabhu, thank you. So it's 5th canto, 19th chapter, and the verse number is 7. So here Hanumanji is offering prayers to Lord Shri Ram. 5:19:7. Yeah. It's a very beautiful verse, and we will try to get in that mood. How Hanuman is praying. He's the closest, he's the favorite devotee of Lord Ram or servant of Lord Ram, but still, this is how he is. visualizing his position. So let's try to get into that mood. Okay, please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam. Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam. Na vak na buddhi na kritistosha hetu. Na vak na buddhi na kritistosha hetu. Tair yadvistanopi novanokasas. Tair yadvistanopi novanokasas. Chakar sakhe Bata Lakshmanagrajaha. Chakar sakhe Bata Lakshmanagrajaha. Word by word translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat. Na, not. Janma, birth in a very polished aristocratic family. Noonam, indeed. Mahata, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Na, nor. Saubhagam, great fortune. Na, nor. Vak, an elegant manner of speaking. Na, nor. Buddhi, sharpness of intelligence. Na, not. Akriti, features of the body. Tosha hetu, the cause of pleasure to the Lord. Taye, by all those above mentioned qualities. Yat, because Visrishtan, rejected. Api, although. Na, us. One Okasha, the inhabitants of the forest. Chakar, accepted. Sakhe, in friendship. Bata, alas. Lakshman Agrajaha, Lord Shri Ramchandra, the elder brother of Lakshman. Okay. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki. Okay, please repeat. One cannot establish a friendship with the Supreme Lord Ramchandra on the basis of material qualities, such as one's birth in an aristocratic family, one's personal beauty, one's eloquence, one's sharp intelligence, or one's superior race or nation. None of these qualifications is actually a prerequisite for friendship with Lord Ramchandra. Otherwise, how is it possible that although we uncivilized inhabitants of the forest have not taken noble births, although we have no physical beauty, and although we cannot speak like gentlemen, Lord Ramchandra has nevertheless accepted us as friends. See, this is spoken by Hanuman. Yeah. So now you understand the meaning. Maybe 3 Prabhujis and 3 Matajis. Now recite the verse. Meditate on the meaning. What Hanumanji is saying. This can be your prayer as well to the Supreme Lord. Today only when we were driving, I was driving with the Prabhu, and this Prabhu was telling me, Prabhu, we are so fortunate. So many things are going around the world. But we are able to go to the temple. We are able to take the darshan of the Supreme Lord. Where is that gratitude? We don't have to be like Hanuman, but at least in whatever position we are, what else can we expect? We had such a nice kirtan, beautiful Lordship darshan there, Ram Darbar is there, and the association. Yeah. So let's 3 Prabhujis and 3 Matajis, please recite the verse. Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam na vak na buddhir na kritisto shahetu Tairyadvishtan apino vanokasa Chakar sakhe batalakshmanagraja Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam Na vak na buddhi na kritisto shahetu Teryad vrishtan pi navano kasasa Chakar sakhe batalakshmanagraja Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam Na vak na buddhi na kritisto shahetu Teryad viristan apino vanokasa Chakar sakhe batalakshmanagraja Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam Na vak na buddhi na kritisto shahetu Teryad vishtan apino vanokasa Chakar sakhe batalakshmanagraja Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam Na vaka buddhi na kritisto shahetu Namaste Vanokasa Chakar sakhe batalakshmanagraja One more Mataji wants to try? Okay. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. Please hear. In a prayer to Krishna expressing her feelings, Srimati Kunti Devi called him Akinchana Gochara. The prefix A means not and Kinchan means something of this material world. One may be very proud of his prestigious position, material wealth, beauty, education and so on, but although these are certainly good qualifications in material dealings, they are not necessary for achieving friendship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who possesses all these material qualities is expected to become a devotee, and when he actually does, the qualities are properly utilized. Those who are puffed up by a high birth, wealth, education and personal beauty, Janmashwarya Shruti Shribhir. Yeah, Mata Kunti says, na? Janmashwarya Shruti Shribhir, Edhamanam Madah Puman. Yeah? Naiva Arahati Abhidhatum Vai Tvama Kinchana Gochara. Unfortunately, do not care for developing Krishna consciousness, nor does the Supreme Personality of Godhead care about all these material qualifications. The Supreme Lord is achieved by devotion, bhaktya mamabhi janati. One's devotion and sincere desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead are the only qualifications. Rupa Goswami has also said that the price for achieving God's favor is simply one's sincere eagerness to have it. Lolyam ek mulyam. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat it is said, Khola vecha seva kaira dekha bhagya sima brahma shiva kande yara dekhiya mahima dhane jane panditye krishna nahi paye kevala bhaktira vasha Chaitanya Gosai. Behold the great fortune of the devotee Khola vecha. Lord Brahma and Shiva shed tears upon seeing his greatness. One cannot attain Lord Krishna by any amount of wealth, followers or learning. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is controlled only by pure devotion. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very sincere devotee whose name was Khola Vecha Shridhar and whose only business was to sell pots made of the skin of banana trees. Whatever income he had, he used 50% for the worship of Mother Ganges, and with the other 50% he provided for his necessities. On the whole, he was so very poor that he lived in a cottage that had a broken roof with many holes in it. He could not afford brass utensils and therefore he drank water from an iron pot. Nevertheless, he was a great devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is a typical example of how a poor man with no material possessions can become a most exalted devotee of the Lord. The conclusion is that one cannot attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Gosai through material opulence. That shelter is attainable only by pure devotional service. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. One should render transcendental loving service to Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. Srila Bhaktivedanta purports ki, let's do Mangalacharan and then we will discuss. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitan Tam Sajivam Savadhetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Cha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubha Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhuter Mahadbhir Yayima Puro Vivo Nirmayashete Yadamusha Purusha Bhungte Gunansho Dashatmakam Solanka Shrestha Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanaagatam Katha Amritam Satat Pibatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvalok Rishi Deva Janma Prasannam Sarvalok Rishi Deva Janma Prasannam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. There are so many exalted devotees here. It is just because of your mercy and blessings that I've been asked to sit on this side and speak something, share some realization. Yeah. So please pray that may the right words come at the right time. May I am truly able to glorify Srila Prabhupada and serve my Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. So, in this verse, Prabhuji and Mataji, Hanumanji is praying to the Supreme Lord, yeah? And he is appreciating his position, or rather, he is appreciating his position in the sense that despite not having all those qualities, that he is able to. That Lord, Supreme Lord, who is Lakshman Agraja, he specifically mentioned the word Lakshman Agraja, who is the elder brother of Lakshman. He accepted us as his friend. Yeah? So there are two aspects here. One is the Lord's acceptance and one is the devotee's mood of surrender. Yeah? I tell you, once my Guru Maharaj was sharing this real example. In India, there was a recruitment in the army. And normally when the recruitment in the army is happening, it's in a village, in a school. In a school, in a village, the recruitment was happening. There were thousands of young men were there and they wanted to be given a job in the army. And you can imagine 1,000 they have to interview, and then it's literally, I call that as a rejection process. So they have to hire 60 people, there are 1,000 people, so they have to reject as many people. So they were interviewing them, and then there were twin brothers. They came forward and they looked at the first one, and the person who was in charge of selection, he said to him, no, he can't be selected. Ye to dholak hai. He is dholak. Because he was overweight, he had a fat belly, and the recruiter said, ye to dholak hai, isko select nahi karna. No, we're not going to select him. And then after some time, his twin brother's turn came. When his twin brother came, he has already called other one dholak. So he said, ye to khooti hai. Khooti means a small stick. Small stick, which is, what do you call? In the floor. What do they do? Peg, yes, yeah. So he said he is a peg because he was not enough height. And then they had to leave. So the realization Guru Maharaj was sharing was that, now, but when you go to serve Krishna, there is no qualification like this required. You can be any shape, any form, but in material world, whatever you want to do, you have to fit into their criteria. Isn't it? You have to fit, depending on the profession you're going for, you have to fit into their criteria. But Lord's service, there is no criteria. Yes? Only criteria is tatra laulyam ekamalyam. Yeah? Yeah. Krishna bhakti ras bhavita mati vikriyatam kutopi labhyate. Krishna bhakti ras bhavita mati. Mati, my intelligence, my buddhi, which is fully absorbed in the service of Krishna. If that can be purchased somewhere, vikriyatam. Yeah? In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, vikriyatam. If you can find it, if it is being sold anywhere, then you must take it. But you can't find it. So then in the next line he's saying, tatra laulyam. Yeah? Tatra laulyam ekalam maulyam. Only lolupta, only the desire, the intense desire to serve the Supreme Lord, that is the only price. Yeah? Yeah? That is the only price you have to pay. When Sri Advaita Acharya, when he called for Mahaprabhu, he prayed, and then it says, Tulsi dal matrena jalasya chulkenva vikriyeta swa atmanam bhaktebhya bhakt vatsala. Tulsi dal matrena, just one leaf of tulsi, chulkena jalasyava, just this much water and tulsi leaf you offer. And in return, the Supreme Lord is so merciful, he sells himself to the devotee. So the point is, here Hanumanji is saying, to establish the friendship with you, my dear Lord, we don't have any of these qualifications, but still, despite not having that, you accepted us as your friend. And you, who is the elder brother of Lakshman, you accepted that. Now let's look at Sri Ramayana. So this pastime. In Ramayana, there are, just a bit of understanding, or if you know good, but there are 7 kands in Ramayana. Kand means something which is incomprehensible, a task which you cannot do. That's what is called kand. So in Ramayana, there are 7 kand. First kand is Bal Kand, which talks about Lord Ram's appearance and his Bal Leela. Next is Ayodhya Kand, wherein the prominent Leela is Supreme Lord, then being asked to go to the forest. Yeah? Ayodhya Kand. And then the third one is the Aranya Kand, in the forest. Yeah? How their lordship in the forest, he performed those pastimes. He killed those demons. Yeah? And Mother Sita gets abducted, taken away by Ravan. And then the fourth Kand is Kishkindha Kand. In the Kishkindha Kand, Lord Ram meets with Sugriv and he established that friendship and he kills Bali. That is the fourth one. And the fifth Kand is called Sundar Kand. So Sundar Kand, today we will discuss about Sundar Kand. Yeah? And Sundar Kand, it's called beautiful. Yeah? Sundar Kand prominently, Prabhuji Mataji, talks about the search of Mother Sita. That is the most prominent. And it speaks of more search of Mother Sita and the extraordinary task performed by Hanuman, a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. To what extent a devotee can go to serve his master? Yeah, that is why it is called Sundarakand. It is called Sundarakand. It is said Anjani Mata, she used to call Hanuman when he was young. She used to call him Sundar. So that is why it is called Sundarakand. Other understanding is because Hanuman went to Lanka. There are 3 mountain peaks there, right? One is called Subal, one is called Neel, and the third is called Sundar. Yeah? Where the Ashok Vatika is. So Neel is that's where Ravana's palace was. Subal, it's a flat land. That's where the war happened. And Ashok Vatika is on the third peak. That's where Hanuman went and found Mother Sita. So that is why it is also called Sundarkand. Yeah? And then another poet has said that in Sundarkand, he says, Sundare Sundaro Rama, Sundare Sundari Katha, Sundare Sundari Sita, Sundare Sundaram Vanam, Sundare Sundaram Kavyam, Sundare Sundara Kapi. Yeah? And Sundare Sundaram Mantram, Sundare Kimana Sundaram. Yeah? So he is saying in Sundarakand, Sundare Sundaro Rama. Lord Ram's pastime. How Lord Ram, we'll discuss about, a little bit, touch upon. We don't have a lot of time. How Lord Ram, how he shows his gratitude to his servants, to Hanuman, to the monkeys, to Lord Sugriv. Yeah? How he accepts Vibhishan who comes, from Lanka. Lord Ram accepts him. Yeah? So Sundare Sundaro Rama. Sundare Sundari Katha. So this Katha, Lord's pastime, such a beautiful pastime. Yeah? And then Sundare Sundari Sita. Mother Sita is there, right? How Mother Sita, when Hanuman goes to see Mother Sita, how she speaks to Hanuman, how she tells Hanuman to take her message back to Lord Ram, and how Hanuman feels about meeting Mother Sita. Yeah? And Sundare Sundara Vanam. So that beautiful forest, or these monkeys when they go and search for Mother Sita, so many forests are described. They went everywhere. Sundare Sundaram Kavyam. Yeah? So as you can see, Valmiki ji, he has written, Valmiki Ramayana, you can see so much poetry, so nicely these pastimes are described. Yeah? And then Sundare Sundara Kapi. In Sundarkand, it is, like I said, Kapi Hanumanji. Hanumanji, how he served his master, how he went to any and every extent to please his master without caring for his life. And then finally, Sundare Sundara Mantram. Yeah? These are, so we also learn, right? Mantra means what? Mantra doesn't mean some give you some mantra like a tantric or something and your problems are gone. No. Mantra means manatrayate iti mantra. That is the real definition of mantra. Manatrayate iti mantra. By reading this, by understanding Sundarkand, by understanding Sri Ramayana, your man, you will be able to control your man. Right? You will be able to cross over this ocean of nations. Manaev manushyanam karanam moksha bandhaya. Yeah? Bhagwan Kapil Dev is telling to Mother Devhuti. Manaev manushyanam karanam moksha bandhaya. Yeah? Guneshu saktam bandhaya ratam va pumsi muktaye. Yeah? Mind is the cause of our bondage and liberation. If the mind is absorbed in the material things, then it becomes the cause of bondage. But if it is absorbed in the pastimes of the Lord, then it becomes the reason for liberation. So that's what it means. Yes? Sundare Sundaram Mantram. Yeah, so this is the mantra. Just by hearing, just by reciting these pastimes, discussing these pastimes, your heart will be purified. Yeah? And then finally, Sundare Kimana Sundaram. What is there that is not Sundar in Sundarkand? Everything is so beautiful about Sundarkand. So that is the fifth. The next sixth one is the Yuddhakand. After Sundarkand, Lord Ram, he built a bridge across the ocean, and then they go, and then there is the war, Yuddhakand. And then the last one is the Uttarkand, which talks about Lord Rama coming back to Ayodhya and he accepting to become the king, and then he rules his nice rule, how he rules his citizens, how he teaches them to serve the Supreme Lord. As we say Ram Rajya, if you really want to learn about Ram Rajya, read. Rather than reading in the newspapers, reading in the, reading or hearing from people Ram Rajya, if you really want to find out, read it yourself. Right? So that's what in the Sundarkand. So like this, Prabhuji Mataji, there are 7 kands. So today we'll talk about, because we're discussing Hanuman. Yeah. So what had happened was, the Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Ram, Mother Sita and Lakshmanji, as they were in the forest, then Ravan's sister, Shurpanakha, she saw Lord Ram and she got attracted to him. And she goes to Lord Ram and she proposes, and she says that, there is no one beautiful like me and there is no one handsome like you. Yeah? And she says, the Supreme Lord has made this arrangement. Yeah? So you should accept me as your wife. and then Lord Ram tells her, look, I am in the forest. As it is, I have no means to support myself. Yeah? And supporting one wife itself is so difficult. In the forest, my father has sent me to the forest. What can I do? How can I take care of 2 wives? And then Lord Ram says, look, that, he pointing at Lakshman, he says, wo jo gora hai, that handsome looking, that white complexion, you go to him. He will be able to satisfy your desires and you go to him. And then she goes to Lakshman. She goes to Lakshman and then Lakshman says, oh, you come to me? I'm the servant. Why do you want to marry a servant? If you marry a servant, you will be servant the rest of your life. You should go to king. You should, get the service from the king. And then she went back to the king. She went back to Lord Ram. And as she went back to Lord Ram, Mother Sita walked in. As Mother Sita walked in, and then Surpanaka realized that she is Lord Ram's wife. And she said, oh, because of her, you are treating me like this, I'm going to eat her. And then her true colors came out. See? She was a demoness. And then Lord Ram told Lakshman. He alerted Lakshman. Lakshman straight away got up and he cut her nose and the ears. Yeah, he cut her nose and ears. So I will rush through Prabhuji Mataji because Sundarkand is a very long. So I'm just giving some background and we'll try to get to some teachings in the end. Yeah, that is smooth. So then Lakshman cut her nose and ears, and then she went crying to Khar and Dushan. Yeah. When we recited Ram Stuti, so there is a line there, Sangram Jitakhar Dushanam. Yeah. Ajan Bhuj Sang Sarchapadhar Sangram Jitakhar Dushanam. Yeah. So Ajan Bhuj, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is also called Ajan Bhuj. At many places he's been referenced as Ajan Bhuj. Ajan Bhuj means if your arms can reach to your knees. That's when you address someone as Ajan Bhuj. Yeah. So then she went to Khar and Dushan, who were Ravan's cousin, and she went and told them that there are these two Vanvasi. Yeah, they have come here, mendicants, and they have deformed me like this. You should do something about it. And then Khar and Dushan, without thinking, they come to fight Ram and Lakshman. And then Lord Ram tells Lakshman, you take care of Sita, and Lord Ram goes himself. And then what happens is, as many army people were there in Khar and Dushan, Lord Ram took those many forms. And all of them thought that they are fighting with Ram. Everyone. Yeah? And they all got killed. So here I want to highlight one thing. So here Khar and Dushan, they came to fight with Ram. Now similarly, when Lord Ram comes back to Ayodhya, after Yuddhakand, when he is coming back to Ayodhya, here the poet says that everybody wanted to meet Lord Ram. Everybody in Ayodhya wanted to meet Lord Ram. Yeah? So then how they can meet? So here Lord Shiva is telling Mother Parvati. So this Ramayana Katha is spoken by Lord Shiva to Mother Parvati, and then Valmiki ji has written it. But Lord Shiva is the speaker, like in our Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami is speaking, but then Sut Goswami is also speaking at some places. So Lord Shiva is speaking. So Lord Shiva tells Mother Parvati, Prema tur sab log nihari, kautuk keen kripal kharari. Yeah? Kautuk keen kripal kharari, uma maram yah kahu na jana, chan mahu bhete sabahi bhagavana. Yeah? So what Lord Shiva is saying is that prem atur, with anxiety with love. Everyone, they were looking at Lord Ram with anxiety and love. Everyone. Yeah. And because everyone was looking at it, then Lord Shiva is saying, Kautuk keen kripal kharari. That Lord Ram, so he got one name as Kharari, like our Murari. Because he killed Mur Rakshas, so his name is Murari. So because he killed Khar and Dushan, so Lord Ram has got one name as Kharari. So here Lord Shiva is saying that Kharari, as in Lord Ram, he did a kautuk, he did a trick, you can say. And the trick that he did was that as many Ayodhya Vasis were there, as many citizens were there, Lord Ram took as many number of forms. Shanmahu bhete sabai bhagavana. Within a moment, Lord Ram met everyone. Everyone was thinking, I'm meeting Lord Ram, I'm embracing Lord Ram, I'm going down to him, everyone. And then Lord Shiva says, Uma maram yeh kahu na jana. O Parvati, O Uma, nobody could find out what happened. So see, two moods. So here the point I want to highlight is, Khar and Dushan approached the Supreme Lord to fight with their army. Lord, there also he took as many forms, multiple forms, to destroy them. Here, all the Ayodhya Vasi, they wanted to meet with him. So here also Lord took as many forms to meet with all of them. Yeah? Ye yatha mam prapadyante, tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. Right? So Lord took as many forms. So now back to our story. So Lord Ram killed Khara and Dushan and the whole army. Now Shurpanakha went back to Ravan and she told Ravan that Ravan, this is what has happened. What kind of king you are. In your kingdom, if your sister is getting this treatment, what will happen to others? And then Ravan got infuriated. Ravan said, who did this to you? And then she tells him that they've got a beautiful woman with them and I went there to get that woman for you. I thought she will be best suited in your palace, so I went there and they did this to me. Ravan without questioning, Ravan went and he devised a plan to steal Mother Sita. He stole Mother Sita. Once again, we're rushing through this pastime because we want to get to Sundarakand. So Ravan stole Mother Sita and then Lord Ram was looking for Mother Sita and Ram and Lakshman. Then as they get closer to Kishkindha, Rishamukh Parvat, so there is a mountain called Rishamukh. That's where Sugriv was staying. And Sugriv's brother Bali was chasing him. So Sugriv then sent Hanuman, you go and find out who are these two people. They have dressed like mendicants, but they are carrying bow and arrow. What is this? Maybe they are sent by Bali. Go and find out. Hanuman goes, speak to the Supreme Lord, and then he realizes that they are the Supreme Lord and he takes them to Sugriv. And then Sugriv and Lord Ram, they have a pact. And then Lord Ram kills Bali and Sugriv is become king of Kishkindha. Sugriv become king of Kishkindha. Now Lord Ram now tells Sugriv that let's go and find. So the pact was, I will look after you and you will help me search Mother Sita, search my wife. Now Sugriv comes back and so now we're getting to the Sundarakand point. Now what happens, Prabhuji Mataji? And this is where we need to look at the mood to serve. So let's focus on this point. Mood to serve. So Sugriv now gets all the monkeys. His monkeys, it said, and Sri Valmiki ji says, there were millions of monkeys. And it is like, the whole earth was covered with the monkeys. It was like this, like grasshoppers. Medinim Shalbha Iva. Medinim means earth. Shalbha means grasshoppers. Like grasshoppers cover the whole earth. As many monkeys were there. And they came and then Sugriv tells Lord Ram, my dear Lord, these are the monkeys here. Please give them the instructions. And then Lord Ram tells Sugriv, I am not going to give you the instructions. You are in charge of this mission. I trust you. Whatever you do, right? You are to direct them. And also Lord Ram tells him, I won't feel offended if you give them an order. You decide. And then Sugriv then tells, okay. So Sugriv now starts dividing his army of monkeys. So he sends like lakhs, thousands of monkeys in the north side. In the north side, there was a monkey in his army. His name was Shatbali. So he tells Shatbali, you go to the north side. And he goes to the north side and he tells him, you go to Himalayas, then you cross the mountains up to the point that, up to the end of the earth basically. So that's what he tells Shatbali to go. Now Shatbali goes in that side. Then there was another monkey in his army. His name was Vinath. So he tells Vinath, you also go, and he sends Vinath to the east side. And he tells him to go to the point where the sun is rising. Just keep going. And he says, you have to go and find out about Mother Sita or about Ravan's whereabout. You have to find out about both of them. And he tells them, I give you 1 month time. If in 1 month you don't find them, then don't come back. If you come back, I will kill you. You will be punished. But Sri Valmiki, that's why it says, Sundare Sundaram Kavyam. So if you read it, then this is the last statement that I said. He said, I'll kill you. But before that, he also gives them, look, if you come back, if you find about Mother Sita, you will be equal to me. I will give you a palace similar to mine. Trying to entice them, motivate them. You come back and you find out, but if you don't find out, you'll be punished. Then he calls Sushen. There was another monkey called Sushen, who is father of Tara. Tara, who is wife of Bali. So he was his father-in-law in that sense. He was a very powerful monkey, like a mountain. That monkey was like a mountain. They're not like what you see in Vrindavan. They were like big mountains. They were like clouds. So big monkeys. So ferocious shape. What you see, those King Kong type, you see that? How they, enlarge it, they were real. They were real, yeah. So all these monkeys. So he tells Sushen, you go to the west side. So he sends him to the west side, and once again they go to the end of the earth, cross all the oceans. In the Valmiki Ramayana, it's very clearly mentioned. The whole tract is described. You come through this river, you cross this mountain, cross that mountain, go to this river, cross the salt ocean, cross the sweet ocean, cross the Shir Sagar, Milky Ocean. So just keep going to the end. You have to come and find out about Mother Sita and the Ravan, where they have gone. And then he calls Angad and Hanuman and Neel, who is son of Vishwakarma. He says, you go to the south. Yeah, he sends them to go to the south direction. And then he says, in the south you go to Vindhya Parvat, then you go to Vindhya mountain, then you find, this river, then you find that mountain. And he tells them also that you have to cross the ocean to go to Lanka. And then beyond Lanka also he describes. Beyond Lanka you go there, and then this mountain, then this lake, then this river, and you have to find out about Mother Sita and Ravans, where they are staying. Now all the monkeys go, but Hanuman is left behind. Yeah? Hanuman is left behind. Now Sugriv calls Hanuman. And he tells him, Hanuman, I have full faith in you. I have full trust in you that you can achieve this task. You'll be able to accomplish this task. You'll be able to find out the whereabouts of Mother Sita. Right? Please, you should go and do this. And then as he brings Hanuman in front of Lord Ram, and he tells Lord Ram that, Lord Ram, Hanuman can accomplish this task. And then after hearing about this, now Lord Ram, it says, Lord Ram then speak to Hanuman, and then Valmiki ji is saying, Tatah parantapah preeta. Yeah? Out of love, parantapa, that Lord Ram who is destroyer of the enemies. After that, Tatah parantapa preeta, lovingly, and then he gave him his finger ring. Anguliyam. He gave him his finger ring, which is Abhignanam Rajputraya Tasya Dadau. He gave him his ring finger so that he can show it to Mother Sita, and Mother Sita will recognize that yes, he is a real messenger of Lord Ram. So Lord Ram gives him that ring, and then Hanuman then pays his obeisances to Lord Ram, and they are actually called fly monkeys. Fly. So they just jump like fly. As Hanuman got the orders, Hanuman started flying. Flying as in jumping. As he was jumping, then Valmiki ji says, Lord Ram is shouting. And in shouting, literally, he's telling Hanuman, he's telling, O Pavanasut, Aham Tva Balam Ashrita. That I am taking shelter of your strength. Yeah? He says, Atibal Harivar Vikrama. Hari means monkey. Hari also means lion, right? And Hari is our Supreme Lord also. So he says, Harivar, O best of the monkeys, I take shelter of your strength. Aham Tvam Balam Ashrita. And he says, Analpahi, Avikramahi, Sa Janak Suta, Adhigamyate, Yatha Adhigamyate, Tatha Kurushu. I know, Analpahi means you should do every action. Every possible action you should do. Vikramahi, right? Any adventure things that you have to do. If you have to jump, if you have to run, if you have to go into the water, please try all the possibilities, right? Because I'm taking shelter of your strength. Yeah. However, we can find that Sa Janak Suta, that daughter of Maharaj Janak, please do whatever you have to do. And this is how Lord Ram is requesting Hanuman. See how fortunate that is. And what that Hanuman is saying in today's verse, that we are not capable, that you became Chakar Sakhe Bata Lakshmana Agraja. He's using the word but. But means alas. You still accepted me as your friend. And here Supreme Lord is telling him, please go and find out. Now Hanumanji goes. Hanumanji goes, and Angad, they started going. Now few days they are searching. They are given a month's time. Monkeys who are going on the north side, Shatbali and his team, they failed. They could not find Mother Sita. They started coming back. Monkeys who went to the east side, Venata and team, they failed. They could not find Mother Sita. They started coming back. Shushan, father-in-law of Sugriv, they could not find Mother Sita and Ravan. They started coming back. And here Hanuman, Angad, and they are going, and they went through the mountains, they went through various caves, crossed the rivers, they still could not find anything. It is said that as they crossed the Vindhya river, then they got to a mountain. Then they crossed that mountain. After crossing that mountain, they got into a forest. And in that forest, there was no one there. Completely empty, no animal, no vegetation, nothing. Just plain trees without any fruit. As they got into that forest, then they started wondering what has happened. And then it is said that one of the monkey who was with them, he could read, and he said there was a rishi staying there. His rishi's name was Kand Rishi. And Kand Rishi's 10-year-old son was lost in that forest. So that rishi had cursed the forest, that because my son is lost inside the forest, you will not have any fruit, any vegetables, you will just have barren land, and just these trees will be standing. So, and then that rishi, and he was like very short-tempered. And as these monkeys came, he started shouting at them, "Go away, go away, go away." And then they avoided that rishi. As they went forward, there was a demon who came up. And that demon came up, and that demon said, "Go back, otherwise you are all dead." And that demon, he started moving his arms, making some noises. And then as the demon was making the noise, Angad stood up, and Angad smacked one on his face. And he started vomiting blood, and he died. And then the monkeys thought he was Ravan, we have killed Ravan. They thought we have killed Ravan now. Ravan is killed, we must find Mother Sita. They looked around in the forest, but then they could not find Mother Sita. And by this time, all other monkeys, they also came and joined them. Nobody is going to Sugriv, because Sugriv had said, if you come empty-handed, I will kill you. Now they all assembled there. Now Angad, being the crown prince, he started speaking to them. Yeah? He started speaking to them, and he tells them, look, no, we have to make another effort. We cannot just sit like this. We have to motivate ourselves. We have to go and find out. Now remember this point. This is how your devotion service, or our devotion service. Very, very often we lose strength, and we feel it's not working. Yeah. So this is lesson number 1. Angad tells them, no, we have to find out. We have to go and find out. Now, just to put into context, Prabhuji and Mataji, this pastime happened in Treta Yuga, right? Somebody can say, it happened in the past. Why are we discussing it now? Why are we discussing it now? You have to question yourself. So the point is, everybody is looking for Mother Sita. Whether it was past, whether it is present, whether it is in the future. All of us need the mercy of Mother Sita, don't we? All of us need the mercy of Lord Ram. Even though this pastime happened then, but it is as much applicable to us. Right? I was reading once Srila Prabhupada's purport, and Prabhupada says there have been so many kings, or so many rulers, so many presidents, prime ministers, they speak of nationalism, etc., etc. Do we remember their names? Somebody died 100 years ago, we hardly remember. Or whoever the head of nation died last year, we won't even remember who died. But this pastime happened in Treta Yuga, right? Even in our other millenniums. Lord Varaha, it happened in the previous millennium. Shwet Varaha, Rakt Varaha. Rakt Varaha happened in the first millennium. We still discuss those pastimes. So these are as much relevant. So the point is, everybody is looking for that. Right? Yeah. So Angad motivated them. No, we have to continue this. Let's continue with our search. And like this, he sent them again, and they went again for searching. They could not search again. They could not find. Then they came back again. And now Angad says, "Lest fast unto death." We cannot find Mother Sita. We cannot go back to Sugriv. Right? Let's fast unto death. And they decided to fast unto death. So they reached the mountain, another mountain. Mountain's name is called Mahindra Parvat. Mahindra mountain, and it is near the ocean. As they were sitting there and saying, okay, we're going to fast unto death, in that mountain, there was a vulture living there. What was his name? Sampati. Yes, yeah. Jatayu was his brother. Yeah. So Sampati was living in that cave. Right? And Sampati heard them, and he said, oh, what a great fortune. I don't have to go out. I've been hungry for so many days. Now all of these are going to fast unto death. I will have a lot of food. As they heard Sampati speak like this, And then they started praising Jatayu. They said, oh, you are one vulture, and there was Jatayu, who even gave his own life in the service of Lord Ram. As Sampati heard name of Jatayu, he said, who are you? How do you know Jatayu? And then they told Sampati about the great feat that Jatayu had performed in trying to protect Mother Sita. As Sampati heard that, Sampati then realized his position also. And he said, I'm going to help you. And then it is said, Sampati looked. Yeah, it is said that, it says, Sampati then tells them that, मैं देखूं तुम नाही गीदहि दृष्टि अपार. He says, I can see, but you cannot see. Because vulture, their eyesight is apar. They can see far, far away. He says, I can see Mother Sita. She is in Lanka. You cannot see, but I can see Mother Sita is there in Lanka. And you should send one of your representative to go and, meet her. Yeah. And as the monkeys heard, now they started looking at each other what to do. How to find Mother Sita. And then nobody, then they were the ocean was 100 yojan. It is mentioned in the Valmiki Ramayana, so 100 yojan. 1 yojan is 12.87 kilometer. So if you work out the distance, 12.87 into 100. 100, how many it will be? 12,000 plus. Yeah, 12,000 kilometers. How monkey can jump like that? We just said they were flying, but now they were all thinking, who will go? Who will go? Angad said, I can go, but then I can try. Angad said, I can. Jamvan said, I could have gone when I was young. Because when Lord Vamandev performed that pastime, Jamvad was so happy, he circumambulated the whole earth 21 times to glorify Supreme Lord. My Lord has done this, my Lord has done this. Jamvant is son of Marich, Marich is son of Brahmaji. So he was very powerful. He said, when I was at that time I can do this, but not anymore. Angad says, I can try, but I might fall in the middle. They said, no, we can't risk you because you are the crown prince. Then Kishkinda will be without the future king. Everybody kept quiet. And then Jamvant knew Hanuman's strength. And then he goes to Hanuman. Hanuman was cursed. That is a different pastime, that he will forget his strength. Yeah? But as Jamvant reminded Hanuman, and he told Hanuman, Hanuman, you can go. You are so strong. He reminded him his birth, his parent, that he is Vayuputra, and air god is so strong. And he said, if you go, air god will help you as well. And then he motivated Hanuman. And then Hanuman realized his strength. And then Hanuman got ready to go. As Hanuman got ready to go, then Jamvan tells him that as you are going, until you come back, we will be standing on one leg. He says, until you come back, we'll be standing on sthasyama cha ek padena agamanam yavat agamanam tava. Sthasyama cha ek padena. We'll be standing on one leg until you come back. Because tvad gatani. Yeah, because by your going there and coming back, Jivitani Aukasan. All these monkeys we will be able to survive, we will live if you successfully come back. So we will be standing on one leg and we will be waiting for you. So here another important point I want to highlight, Prabhuji Mataji. Like I said, we all want to get the mercy of Mother Sita. No matter whoever we are, whatever age we are. Right? Now, some of us can be so strong as Hanuman, our own Srila Prabhupada. Right? So, if we can't be like that, we can at least support someone. We can support our Srila Prabhupada. Mataji supporting book distributions. So, that is, we are contributing.